Look closely at a highway today, and you are surrounded by noise. Slashed creases, aggressive fake vents, sprawling grills, and interiors swallowed by screens. The industry operates on an assumption that applying more surface detail and aggressive styling is the path to visual interest. Once a year, the 18th fairway above Carmel Bay offers a different perspective. The Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance is hosting its 75th event, showcasing cars that have outlived their designers and every fashion that once surrounded them. It is easy to assume these machines are beautiful because they are old, that their appeal is a byproduct of patina, scarcity, or nostalgia. But we mistake survivorship for mere age. These cars didn't earn their status by surviving. They survive because their underlying geometry was right from the start. Since 1950, Pebble Beach has functioned as a public experiment. It is a filter where designs are left to age and are judged on whether their shape still looks inevitable decades later. The 2024 Best of Show winner proved this by exactly what it lacked. An unrestored 1934 Bugatti Type 59 beat a field of jewel-perfect restorations because its structural authority remained undeniable even without cosmetic prettification. A design only lasts a century if it remains compelling after all its superficial polish has worn away. Timelessness is subtractive. Every surviving silhouette is anchored before the first line is drawn. This is the dash-to-axle ratio, the length between the front wheel and the windshield. It permanently sets visual mass. Pre-war coach builders adopted this necessity, housing massive engines that pushed the cabin backward. When the mechanical requirement for those giant engines disappeared, the visual stance they created remained. That proportion became the definitive marker of automotive beauty. Proportion is the foundation of automotive architecture. The stance is the design. Everything built on top of it is commentary. The 1924 Hispano-Suiza tulip wood torpedo relies on this principle. Its spectacle comes from the pure, uninterrupted volume of its shape, rather than applied decoration. The Delahaye 135 teardrop achieves the same effect by resolving its foundational proportions so completely that surface decoration becomes unnecessary. Designer Joseph Fagoni treated the entire vehicle as a single falling drop of water, tracing sine waves in the air that resolve the surfaces based entirely on that underlying stance. The winners on this fairway are designs whose exterior surfaces simply complete an argument their foundational architecture already started. In a modern studio, a raw clay model represents the permanence of the packaging phase. This shape exists before a single styling detail is considered. The physical relationship between the engine, the firewall, and the cowl is locked in place long before manufacturing tooling begins. Surface is simply the final layer, applied only after the core volumetric decisions are already made. When a vehicle is covered in artificial busyness or aggressive creases, it's often an attempt to disguise a poorly resolved package stage. A flawed foundation is permanent. Once the proportions are compromised in the package stage, no amount of styling can save the design. This is the dilemma for the 2026 designer. Many modern digital tools prioritize surface novelty, allowing core proportions to drift as the concept evolves. Depix addresses this by locking in design intelligence, ensuring that foundational elements like the wheelbase and dash-to-axle ratio remain perfectly resolved from the first hours of concepting. It respects the verdict Pebble Beach has delivered for 75 years. Timelessness is a property decided at the first proportion, and it is never successfully added later. A shape that was never resolved can never be restored. Only perfectly proportioned designs have the power to outlive their era.